Welcome back to Kharak Cup 6. We're moving in now to the third game from the from the qualifier section from round 2 of it. I don't really know what order, there's no order in particular that these were arranged in. I'm just casting them as they are in my replay viewer. So, but the game is going to be between Rompafrolic here playing as the Galzian and FrostyTeeth as the Coalition. This one will also be pretty fun. Just like Rompafrolic's last game, I think it's fairly evenly matched. Well, I would give him the edge, though. I think he's probably going to win this one. But it'll be interesting to see what FrostyTeeth is able to pull off here. FrostyTeeth, of course, our guy who is running the 2v2 league. Big shout out to him for that. He's going for early LAV fabrication there, put 2 salvagers onto RUs, and so I would expect him to try some kind of a tech rush, like AAVs or something like that. Oh, I've yawned. Excuse me. Rompafrolic, meanwhile, put 4 onto CUs there. He's probably going to do his typical thing, which is similar to mine, where you move out with the... Well, actually, it's pretty much the same as mine. You move out with the production cruiser early, start making some sand skimmers. And he's probably going to start making them just right about now if he's doing that. There we go. I was wondering, like, maybe he's doing something vastly different, but it doesn't look like it. FrostyTeeth, I would assume, is going to try a tech rush here, but we never know. But it does look like he's kind of saving up RUs for AAV fabrication to me. He just put down a turret? No, he didn't. Never mind. Yeah, he couldn't have. That's still on cooldown. Rompafrolic, interestingly, moved out that far with his production cruiser, but now he's coming back. Maybe he was expecting, to encounter resistance in the early game, and when he didn't see it, he actually... Wait. His production cruiser seems to be stuck. You can see it angrily twitching there. Let me move. I mean, I wouldn't expect that to happen to the Galzian. Yeah, there you go. Because you know how sometimes sometimes your tire gets stuck on a patch of sand. There's a couple patches of sand here, and it spins and it can't move. But the Galzian don't even have tires. How could he get stuck there? Whoever's piloting this thing must be an idiot. Anyway. Sandskimmers here are going to scout out FrostyTeeth. They did not scout long enough to catch the AAV fabrication, though, because that's going to go up right now. You can see it's these things right here are going to move. Just like that. And Rompafrolic did not see that, so he still doesn't know that it's AAV fabrication on the field. It was a tech rush for FrostyTeeth, and he's making them immediately. Normally, what we see players do, or really what they should do, really, I said really twice. When they go for a tech rush like this, they put the AVs immediately down to their opponent's base. Rompafrolic will delay this a little bit with these 2 sand skimmers right here. He'll have to move out that way first, clear up the sand skimmers on his second so that he can get his resources back there, and then he'll move down to Rompafrolic's main. And Rompafrolic, true to his style, is already making more Baserunners. That's not necessarily a problem, of course. He's also going to catch this probe, which is nice for him, and that before the tech choice came out. So it's not going to be known to FrostyTeeth that railgun tech is on the way here. Rompafrolic going to be seeing now, okay, there is enemy armor here. That's an interesting smoke, but I wouldn't have used it, because you're not going to lose a sand skimmer, or a salvager to 2 sand skimmers, and it actually slowed down his AAVs slightly. But yeah, probably these AAVs want to move out across the map immediately now and see if they can do some damage in the early game. But I don't think they can. Rompafrolic did not go for that many sand skimmers, and railgun fabrication is already finished for him. He can begin producing. He'll probably be fine. So, that's how it is. 1 artifact goes down here for Rompafrolic. Second going to get picked up immediately. There is field control for FrostyTeeth, though. I don't think these are going to score, but they will be picked up, so that's notable. Frosty's probe just kind of running around here trying to see if there's any army out on the field, and there is none. And that's very much going to be what he learns. He knows about these sand skimmers, of course. He already knew about them. But he's going to see that there's no army anywhere else on the map. And that's going to lead him to believe, probably, that refinery mode has been finished, and indeed it has. I would really be pushing, though, with these AAVs. You can see this one moving off to the side, this one just kind of standing still. I would be moving them down to my opponent's base here. Of course, there is actually an assault railgun out. He couldn't have known that. And what I'm saying even making any sense, now that I think about it? He should push out, because even though he doesn't know it, there's the counter unit on the field already. Yeah, maybe I'm actually wrong. But, you know, whatever. Scanner gets thrown down from Rompafrolic right there, but he gets taken out by those AVs pretty quickly. And now he's going for Assault Cruiser fabrication. What? That's crazy. But you know what? I like it, actually, in sort of an interesting way. I still think railguns are the counter to it, but there's always going to be assault railguns first, and assault cruisers are definitely the counter to assault railguns, if you can get them out that early in the game, and it looks like you can. These two AVs kind of caught out of position, and there is armor 1 on those railguns, so it'll take them an exceedingly long time to kill any kills there, as you can see. Rompafrolic just gonna push in. He doesn't even care that he's getting shot at. In fact, he tries to push in with the carrier. He really wants to stop this extraction, but you can't do it, my boy. I wonder if he's gonna try to get aggressive with the carrier this early on. By the way, I mean, FrostyTeeth has field control, but he actually did let this artifact score, so that's notable. Yeah, this carrier getting very far out, and I'm kind of confused by that because he could be on a third base with it. This is what he did in his last game too, mind you. He did not take a third base. I think he really should. But no, he's gonna move right in. That's crazy. If FrostyTeeth goes for artillery cruisers here, which he has the money for, no, he's gonna go for power reserve. But if he went for artillery cruisers there, you know, that would be really bad for Rompafrolic. Artillery do a pretty good job against carriers. Unsupported, maybe not, but I still think it would be pretty good for him. Love to see him begin making some... Oh, wait, Majir, did you see that? There's a little bug on the tech viewer. But that's the first one I've encountered. Well done to you, man. Well done to you. Anyway, he got, you know, assault cruiser tech, but he hasn't produced any just yet. Whoa, 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 whoa! This probe flying far. Holy goodness. Anyway... Rompafrolic trying to push with assault railguns. It's not going to work, of course, against this carrier here, but he may get a salvager kill if he's lucky. No, it doesn't look like it. But yeah, his carrier's just moving right in here. That's crazy how aggressive he is there. There is actually an assault cruiser out. Alright. Now the thing is, assault cruisers do damage to carriers, like pretty significant damage, especially when there's only 20 armor, there's 40 armor on this one, so never mind. But, you know, the more armor you have, the less damage you're going to take to this thing, but it can still, you know, it can still really damage a carrier, and you can't power up the armor system for, you know, a Gaussian carrier, so... Either that, or he can go for, like, a backstab, and it looks like that's what he's going to try to do. He used some kind of subsystem on it. I think it was probably the overcharge there. Rompafrolic just going to try to bully him off of all of his bases here with his carrier. I gotta say, this was very unexpected, and this is probably one of the reasons why we don't see assault cruisers this early in the game usually, because the Gaussian player can get away with something stupid like this. Sorry to call it stupid, it is working, but it usually wouldn't, you know, if there were railguns on the field, which is kind of the normal thing that you expect from the Coalition player, this wouldn't really work at all. But, you know, look at this, taking out logistics modules, taking salvagers off of the base there. This is working quite nicely, actually, for Rompafrolic. I'd love to see battlecruiser fabrication. Just like in the game versus Shrike, I really think that's, you know, a good counter here. The carrier is also unsupported, so railguns would be just fine here. The battlecruisers would just be like, you are going to leave now, you know? I mean, there's no contesting the battlecruisers once they get out like that. This assault cruiser is still not spotted, but Rompafrolic may see it momentarily. Ooh. He doesn't know, so he doesn't know that this assault cruiser is here. He thinks it's just the Baserunner. Okay, he's gonna see it now, though. At least he got the blip anyway. He probably knows that that's what it is. And there you go. That is gonna be scouted for him. So he knows that it's there. Good try for FrostyTeeth to keep it hidden there. He moves away, of course, because he can't take that fight. You saw the assault cruiser just did tons of damage to the thing. And with overcharge on, they move very quickly. It's a very short burst. It's kind of like the LAB's boost ability. There are, however, heavy railguns in the area ready to stop this, so I don't think that's going to be too effective. Salvager goes down, actually. That's a nice pickup for FrostyTeeth. These Sandskimmers are trying to stop, or sorry, these LAVs are trying to stop this Baserunner, but they're not going to get it. And Rompa will come in there, clear out the LAVs, clear out the Baserunner. And now he's moving in. Looks like he wants to attack the main here. Oh no, I thought it was a Coalition Baserunner. It's not. And it's gonna heal. I'm not sure why. But you know, whatever. That was probably just a misclick for him. He probably meant to click E. Clicked R instead. Here comes the assault cruiser, but it is going to get stopped by the heavy railguns there. It got a couple salvagers, but probably not any value, or not enough value anyway. But it is going to be artillery cruisers for FrostyTeeth. I like that move, and I'm really amazed that we have a game here where the carrier was there, you know, like less than 10 minutes into the game. But I don't know. It's still going. It's an interesting game here, but I think I do favor Rompafrolic's position. He's got the railguns already, and really Frosty only has AAVs. He's got quite a lot of artifacts. Oh wow, I didn't even notice. He's on 4 artifacts actually. So he really only needs to score 1 more. His Baserunner probably should be moving here to pick that up. So it's up to FrostyTeeth then to get control of the map very quickly and also find a counter to these railguns. And I think artillery cruisers kind of do both for him, but he really would probably wish that he hadn't lost that assault cruiser. He's got another one out though, and they look pretty darn sick in his color scheme, you gotta say. Artillery, once it finishes, he will definitely need to make. That's the only way he's gonna stop these extractions. He's also getting power reserves. I don't think that's a bad move, especially when you know your opponent's carrier is this aggressive. You probably want that. But he needs to be careful with this assault cruiser here. I like the missile barrage. It's going to land decently well, but it hits the Baserunner actually pretty nicely. But I don't know, it really feels like Frosty is kind of throwing away a lot of units here. Kind of chasing this carrier here, which is sort of funny because Rompafrolic has the power lead. He may just suddenly turn back and start fighting, especially because he has power reserve 5 now. So there's the missile barrage. Yeah, he's going to turn back and start fighting, so he definitely baited him there. You got jabaited! And suddenly he's coming in with a lot of carrier power and with the Gaussian missile barrage coming down. There's an assault cruiser to support, but only an assault cruiser. And you can see the damage that it does to a carrier. That's not insignificant, but... Oh wow, and he got very lucky there too. The RN gods were on his side there as 2 missiles land directly on top of the assault cruiser. But I mean, just look at the power discrepancy here. You know, you got FrostyTeeth with this many, and then Rompafrolic with this many. He literally has more power in every system, so... But he's gonna speed away, he's gonna run off. Interesting. I think he should just stay and fight here. But maybe he's assuming that Frosty is doing a lot of damage to him and he needs to run. And that could be. It's often difficult to tell how much power your opponent has. I mean, he seems very high here. He probably thinks there's also a lot of power in this carrier. That's really interesting. But to be true, all that Rompafrolic needs to do is pick up this artifact and take it over here. And he's got his carrier in position, he's got heavy railguns in position. I don't know how Frosty's going to stop this. Artillery is the right beginning move here, but he hasn't begun to make them, and they take a very long time to produce. I don't think they'll be there in time. He's going to move out with his carrier here, but this has got to be punishable by Rompafrolic. I really prefer the Gaussian carrier in this scenario just because of how much power it has, but also it's supported by railguns, though one of them wasn't shooting for a little bit there. I think that FrostyTeeth, in trying to get this Baserunner, oh look at that, Rompafrolic being a champ, healing his opponent. But anyway, I really feel like in order to get this Baserunner, he's going to have to sacrifice his carrier. So he got that artifact, but he's going to go down. And that's game. I think he kind of was forced to do it though. So if I were FrostyTeeth, what would I have done differently? I wouldn't have tried for this backstab with the assault cruiser when you know there's railguns already. And I also, or maybe I would have, once I knew I had gotten spotted here, I would turn back. And I would have made artillery a lot faster. I think there's still, there's still viability in that build. I think it could still work, but he needs to be a little more careful with his units to make sure he doesn't lose any. Good game to Rompafrolic though. He did a couple of funny things, like moving his carrier over here and stuff, but I mean, it worked for him, and he had field control the whole game. He managed to extract 4 artifacts. He would have gotten a 5th there. Excellently done by him, so I think that was a good game overall.